In 1865, John D. Rockefeller was a 26-year-old nobody with a small stake in an Ohio refinery. By 1880, he controlled 90% of all the oil in the United States. Not by drilling more, not by getting lucky, by understanding one idea that most people never figure out. Don't own the resource. Own the pipeline. Level 1. The ledger. You are 16 years old. Your first job pays you 50 cents a day. You write down every penny, not because you're poor, because you need to see it. The numbers tell you something feelings never can. You know exactly where every cent goes. You know what each task costs. You know what it returns. Other boys spend what they earn. You study what you earn. There's a difference, a large one. You don't think of this as saving. You think of it as information. You are building a system before you have anything worth systematizing. That's the point. The ledger isn't about money yet. It's about understanding flows, where things come from, where they go. Who controls the gap in between? Other men see the world as a series of opportunities. You see it as a series of systems, most of them leaking. Level 2. The choke point. You are 26. Oil is everywhere in Pennsylvania. Men are drilling it out of the ground as fast as they can. The price swings wildly. A barrel worth $4 today is worth 10 cents next month. Drillers go broke constantly. Everyone wants to own an oil well. You don't. You look at the same picture and see something else entirely. The well is the resource. Anyone can dig a well. What no one controls is what happens next. The oil has to be refined. It has to be stored. It has to be moved. You buy a refinery, not the field, the refinery. You place yourself between the ground and the market. Every barrel drilled by every man in Pennsylvania has to come through something like you. That's not luck. That's geometry. You have found the choke point. Everything else follows from here. Level 3, the Anaconda. You are 31. You have one refinery. You want them all. You don't announce this. You don't threaten anyone. You simply make them an offer. Your costs are lower than theirs. Your volume is higher. You can absorb losses they cannot. You undercut the price. You wait. A month, sometimes 2. They come to you. You buy them out in stock. Not cash, stock. Now they're partners. Now they want you to win. You do this again and again across Cleveland, then Pittsburgh, then the whole country. You build your own barrel factories. You own the cooperatives. You own the warehouses. You own the rail cars. Every piece of the system that touches oil, you own or control. By the time anyone realizes what's happening, the Anaconda has already wrapped around the industry's chest. There's no escaping it. There's only joining it. Level 4. The railroad. You are 35. Here's what most people don't know about oil in 1874. The railroad is the pipeline. Every barrel travels by rail. You ship more oil than anyone alive. You go to the railroads and you make them an offer they can't ignore. Give you a secret discount. In return, you guarantee them volume. Massive, reliable, unending volume. They agree. Your competitors pay full price, you pay half. You know their costs. They don't know yours. That gap is everything. Some of your rivals figure out something is wrong. Their math doesn't work. They can't understand why you're profitable when they're not. You are. Every time they cut price to compete, you cut further. You're operating on a cost structure they can't see and can't match. This is information asymmetry at industrial scale. Legal? Barely. Decisive? Completely. Level 5. The trust. You are 43. You control 90% of American oil refining. One company can't legally own another across state lines, so you invent a structure that doesn't exist yet. A trust. 9 trustees hold stock on behalf of every company you've absorbed. Standard Oil of Ohio, New York, New Jersey. All of them. One decision-making body. One coordinated price. One supply chain running from the wellhead to the lamp in someone's kitchen. Regulators don't have a name for it yet. You've built something the legal system hasn't caught up to. The law will catch up eventually. You know that. You're not hiding. You're simply moving faster than the definitions. Level 6, the breakup. You are 71. The Supreme Court orders Standard Oil broken into 34 separate companies. The government calls it a victory. The newspapers call it justice. You own stock in all 34 pieces. Once those companies trade independently on open markets, investors can finally see what each piece is actually worth. They pour in. The valuations climb. Within 2 years, your net worth has doubled. The legal action built to limit your power makes you twice as wealthy. You don't gloat. You were already retired. You're playing golf in Cleveland when the verdict comes down. You hear the news? You tell your playing partner to buy as much standard stock as he can afford. Then you finish the hole. Level 7, the number. You are 74. Your peak net worth is estimated as high as 400 billion. That number is hard to hold in your head. It's larger than the GDP of most countries alive right now. It's more than any private individual has accumulated before or since. You don't spend it on yachts. You don't build palaces. You give it away with the same systematic precision you used to build it. The University of Chicago, the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, public health campaigns that wipe out hookworm across the American South. You don't donate on impulse. You study each cause like a market. You want a return? The return is measurable human outcomes. You apply the ledger to philanthropy. The system never changes. Only the product does. Level 8, the pattern. Here's what you actually built. Not an oil company, a Chokepoint empire. You found the place where all value had to pass through. You owned that place. Every barrel, every rail car, every pipeline junction. You controlled the infrastructure, not the commodity. The commodity was irrelevant. It could have been grain, it could have been copper, it could have been data moving through fiber cables. The principle holds regardless of the product. Find the bottleneck, own the bottleneck. Let everyone else fight over the raw material while you collect a toll on all of it. The well runs dry eventually. The pipeline never does. Level 9, the 3 rules. Rule 1, own the infrastructure, not the product. The product changes, the infrastructure endures. Drillers made fortunes and lost them in a single season. You made a fortune that compounded for 50 years. Rule 2, use systems where your competitors use instinct. Your rivals drilled based on gut and hope. You built a ledger at 16 and never stopped. Every decision had a number behind it. Every number had a system feeding it. You didn't out-hustle anyone. You outstructured them. Rule 3, industry rules are only fixed until someone rewrites them. The railroad rebate wasn't in anyone's playbook. The trust structure had no legal precedent. You didn't break the rules. You operated in the space before the rules existed. That space is where the largest fortunes in history get built. Level 10, the blueprint. Uber owns no cars. Airbnb owns no rooms. Facebook creates no content. Alibaba holds no inventory. They all built from the same idea you proved in 1880. Own the pipeline. Charge a toll on every transaction flowing through it. Let others carry the assets. Let others carry the risk. You take the margin because you control the point where all value has to pass. Every one of those companies is Standard Oil rebuilt in software. Same Chokepoint logic. Same infrastructure dominance. Different century, different product. Same idea written across every page. Level 11, the ledger closes. You live to 97. You outlast your enemies, your regulators, your rivals, and most of your friends. You give away over $500 million and die one of the wealthiest men in all of recorded history regardless. The money kept compounding. The systems kept running. The broken-up companies kept growing without you. You started with a 50-cent workday and a small cloth notebook. You ended with a structure that rewired the American economy and wrote the template that every platform monopoly since has copied. You didn't own the oil. You owned everything the oil had to pass through to become useful. That was always the idea. From the first entry in the ledger to the last barrel through the pipe. If that lesson hit you, subscribe, and we'll keep reading history's ledger together.